And our speaker today is Bonnie Buckingham, I think.
Yes.
And
Sorry, I'll change my name here.
I'm going to ask her to introduce herself because if you sent me a little bit of background, I got lost in that shuffle where we didn't have any internet connection.
Ah,
I know that you work for the Community Food and Agricultural Coalition,
yes.
and we're looking forward to learning what that's all about. So I'm going to ask everyone else to please mute so that we don't have too much, except for Jenny, so we don't have too much background interference. And Bonnie, please go ahead. Thank you.
Well, thank you all so very much for welcoming us to your forum this morning. We're really honored to be able to share a little bit about what we do to make Missoula a good place to live. And there's certainly a lot of causes and a lot of forums to be a part of, and appreciate the chance to just talk a little bit about what we're doing around food and agriculture in Montana. I am the founding director of the Community Food and Agriculture Coalition, and I am here with Jenny this morning. Jenny, you can go ahead probably and share the screen, that title page with our names on it. And I'll let Jenny introduce herself in just a little bit. I have lived in Missoula most of my life. I grew up in Central Oregon on a small self-sufficient farm, growing and harvesting food on our land and from the forest around us. And then took kind of a rather circuitous route to end up in Bozeman for high school, and graduated there, and then got my undergrad degree at MSU. But then have since found my true home here in Missoula, and did go to U of M to get my master's in social work. So when it comes to sports, I have a little bit of a split personality and allegiance there. But most of my career has been in social services, and served as a program manager at Missoula Food Bank for 10 years before starting the Community Food and Ag Coalition. So have been here for 15 years, and CFAC is really dedicated to building a local food system. Before I go on, Jenny, do you want to talk just a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a part of CFAC?
Sure. My name's Jenny Zazo. I'm the Communications and Development Director at CFAC, and I've been with the organization just since June. Over the past decade, have been working in the nonprofit sector for environmental conservation organizations and other organizations as well, working for Audubon, some local land trusts, Five Valleys Land Trust, and I've also worked at the Jeanette Rankin Peace Center and for the Wildland Firefighter Foundation, always in the communications and development role. I grew up on a big dairy farm in Western New York State. So agriculture has always been a part of my life. I worked on a vegetable CSA farm in New Hampshire while I was going through grad school, and just always wanted to kind of keep that connection to the land as well. And then also in food access, being on the board of, local food pantry, and being at CFAC kind of melds all of that experience together. And I'm just really happy to be here and kind of share what we have going on with you all this morning.
Thank you. Jenny has brought a lot to our organization, and just really so honored to work with her in getting the word out about local food. So thank you. I'll tell a little bit about the history of CFAC. We were founded to create really what we see as a radical change in the way we think about our food and about our community. And since this is a senior forum, I imagine that many of you have seen a tremendous amount of change during your lifetime here in Missoula and the Bitterroot Valley as well. As you may know, in the past, Missoula Valley and the surrounding valleys and counties produced over 70% of all the food that was consumed in Montana. This valley was fertile with all kinds of grain, potato, fruits, veggies. In fact, there was a flour mill and a lollipop factory back in the day. But over time, this has shifted and our food now travels over 1,500 miles to reach our plates. And less than 10%, it is now estimated, actually grows here of the total amount that consumers eat. And CPAC is really working hard to increase that number and to not go back in time, but to, in moving forward, to really create something that's sustainable and that secures our food sources and our food routes in times of crisis. And as you can see by looking all around us, much of the agricultural soils are being paved over. You can go to the next slide, Jenny. Much of our best agricultural soils are being paved over for housing developments. And while we do recognize that housing is needed, we also know that we need to plan our growth in a really comprehensive way. Affordable and attainable housing is becoming more and more scarce and is often the excuse used for developing housing on our most critical soils. And as aging farmers begin to retire and age out of farming, our next generation of farmers need land to grow on and expertise and resources to do so successfully. And also many of our families simply can't afford to consistently provide healthy food to their children every day. So these are all really complex issues, and sometimes they're viewed very separately, yet we tend to look at them through a food systems lens and to really see how connected all of these things are. So the Community Food and Agriculture Coalition addresses these issues with 3 main programs, and then through policy recommendations that connect farmlands, farmers, and food to strengthen Western Montana's food landscape and to build a thriving and equitable food system in our region. Our goal by 2030 is to increase consumption of locally produced, sustainably grown food to 30%. During this COVID pandemic crisis, we're seeing how much more important that goal really is to ensuring that we have food security for everyone here in our community. So how do we do this? Again, farmland conservation is one of our key components. We work with local stakeholders, city and county officials, and planning strategies to ensure
Oh, Bonnie, you went on to mute. Just for that last sentence. You're still muted there.
We can't hear you, Bonnie.
It does show you a little mute icon next to your name. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I was told the host muted me. I thought, oh, that doesn't sound good. But okay, so where was I? Oh, well, I'll just, so I was talking about farmland conservation and really needing to balance the housing that we need with the need to really protect agricultural land, which is the real basis for being able to grow and produce our own foods. And I don't know how many of you have been following the Mullen planning or build area that's out towards the end of the airport. But it is one example of some of the work that we've been doing. We've been actively participating in that planning. And the area that is on this picture here is poised to build over 700 new homes within this 1,700 acres. It's currently almost exclusively farmland with some of the oldest home sites within the Missoula Valley. And right now we have a unique opportunity here to use a master planning process to ensure that although there will be a vast amount of new homes, there are also community gardens, a 44-acre farm, and other farm sites throughout the area. So CFAC is working to ensure that the plan goes forward and that farmers are actively growing food to feed our community. We anticipate that this process, if successful here, will actually lead to future plans that include both higher density housing and visible farms within. In order for agricultural land to be productive, we also need farmers. Jenny's going to talk a little bit about some of the programs and resources that we offer to our beginning farmers and ranchers.
Great. I do have a short video, and I'm not sure if it will play over Zoom, but we'll try it. And if not, I'll just talk everyone through it. So we have three core pieces, actually 4 core pieces. I'll get to the 4th one at the next slide. But the 3 that you see here are some grant and loan programs that we offer beginning farmer and ranchers. And then also this FarmLink Montana is a site where we connect farmers to landowners who have land to lease for their farm operations. They can also connect some farm interns and apprenticeships, and farm workers can connect to job opportunities through the FarmLink website as well. I'm going to jump back to this field tested logo, and I'm going to see if a short video will play talking a little bit about some mini grants that we give to farmers to expand their operations, to buy new equipment, and things like that. Let me see if we can get this to play over Zoom for everyone.
Community Food and Agriculture Coalition.
Jenny, now you're muted.
One end of the property. So my name is Tracy Potter-Benz. We're here at a county road farm. My name is Stacey Hunter. My farm is Jasper's Garden. We produce it's French line. We hadn't realized that we could qualify as a specialty crop.
Jenny, I don't know if you're seeing a video. We're not.
Right around.
Oh, okay.
It's still showing your presentation as opposed to the video, Jenny.
Okay, let me just fix that. Let's see, I'm going to try one other quick thing. How about now?
Yep.
Anyone can I see the video?
Yeah, it looks like it's playing now. Well,
Businesses on that.
can you turn it up a little?
Because that helps small farmers enhance their production systems, make sure knowledge with other growers.
My name is Eva Mason. We are members of
All right. Maybe it's just too much for a video over Zoom. What do we think?
Nice photos, though.
Well, yeah. So we'll go back to the PowerPoint, and I can send the link to everyone just to take a look at afterward. It's a really wonderful look at some of our farmers. But basically what the video was about is our field tested program gives small mini grants of 5,000 and below to local farmers to expand their productions, buy equipment, and produce value-added products and things like that. The other program that we help to finance our local farmers is the Kiva loan program, which CFAC endorses local farmers for 0% interest, no fee loans through Kiva, which is a crowd-funded loan source, up to $15,000. So this really kind of helps them either start a brand new business or do an expansion of their current business, and just provides a little bit more capital at 0% interest. Is a really great option for farmers who are just starting out and have, you know, little to no credit. Also, along with the Kiva program coming up in March, we do every year do a Farm Fresh Pitch Fest with the community. So the community is invited to hear farmers pitch their business ideas. They're all farmers that have applied for the Kiva loan. And it also allows community members to come in and become investors in their businesses and in their new ideas and equipment needs and things like that. So you'll be seeing some of that coming from CFAC as we lead up to March 2021. And again, the FarmLink Montana program is a website where we are able to link farmers to landowners and to job opportunities, networking, and other resources. The other part of our Beginning Farmer and Rancher program, sorry, one second. Here we go. Let's see. The other part of our Beginning Farmer and Rancher program, you'll see Bart Morris here from Oxbow Cattle Company is one of our farmers who helped us lead a farmer field day. So farmers are able to come out to the farm. They're either aspiring farmers, beginning farmers, some more seasoned farmers to learn about new techniques from other local farmers. And we kind of do this across the state of Montana. This year, of course, with COVID-19, we had to switch to virtual farmer field days, which was still very well received. We were able to connect with some new people that way because Montana is such a big state. Being able to just tune in like we are today over Zoom to learn poses some challenges. Farming, not being able to be there in person and in the fields, it's definitely a different experience, but a lot of our beginning farmers have taken advantage of kind of some virtual trainings and workshops. We do also one-on-one trainings. We do planning for on-farm success classes, which really help farmers with farm business finance and marketing techniques and tools. And so just kind of a wide array of resources for farmers that CFAC is able to provide no matter what phase of farming that they are in. I'm going to pass it on to Bonnie to talk about another facet of CFAC, which is our food access programs.
So we've talked a little bit about the soil and protecting that asset that we have here in our valley. And then talked about the farmers that actually are growing food and producing food on that soil. And then on the other end of the chain, the food chain, is food access. And due to various life and economic circumstances, many Montanans utilize the SNAP program, which is food stamps. And it is really the largest anti-hunger program in the US and really does help people to be able to serve food to their families. And we really feel that everyone should have the opportunity to access healthy local food and to participate in our great state's local food system. And so we've worked toward that vision in the past by starting the first EBT program, which allows customers to use their SNAP benefits at farmers markets. We started the first one back in 2005, and now we are the coordinators of the Double Snap Dollar program across the state as well. And we launched the Double Snap Dollar program in 2015. It utilizes a token system. People can use their SNAP a drawdown card, kind of like an ATM card, to get little tokens that then they can take and they can purchase food from the different vendors at the farmers market. And what the Double Snap Dollar program does is match for every $1 of food stamps that they use, they get an extra $1 of Double Snap, and then they can actually get produce essentially at half price. And so it makes it very affordable. And then at the end of the market, the farmers collect those coins and they turn them in, and they are reimbursed on that same day. So it supports both the farmers and the consumers. It's funded largely by the USDA, but we also have a number of fundraisers and foundations that partner with us to make this happen. It so far has served over 6,000 Montanans and recirculated $450,000 to local farms, ranches, and farmers markets. And this year we were able to increase that and raise the amount of the dollars that could be matched from $10 per day to actually a $20 cap for those Double Snap dollars. And we're encouraged by the feedback from farmers markets that are seeing these extra benefits being used. And as we wrap up the season, we're really starting to get our numbers in and see how much more effective that was at getting local food into the homes of our families. But 25 sites now offer Double Snap dollars, 22 farmers markets, 2 CSAs, and a grocery store. We also have 3 winter markets that'll be offering the program this year. So we're excited about that, to have it year round. And this Saturday is the first winter market for the Southgate Mall site. And that is in the old Lucky's store. And so that'll be a first for the mall to be having a farmer's market there, but really hoping that that is successful. So I hope everyone stops by and checks out the produce this weekend. We also have created and lead a multi-sector statewide network of 14 partner organizations that guide the improvement of the program and its innovation for Double Snap across Montana. We're working with tribal communities across the state also to increase their access to this program on reservations and in our most rural communities across the state. We're also spending quite a bit of time working with smaller farms and the farms that are growing food for direct sales on their farms. I don't know if you've noticed farm stands have really picked up. You see a lot more of those right on the farm sites, and really have seen quite an increase in interest there with the COVID pandemic and the empty shelves that we saw this past summer. So we have worked to develop a joint marketing initiative to help Blue Mountain growers. And Kent, who is the one that invited us actually to share with you today, is a part of that, to try to raise the interest and profile of the farms in the target range area. And Jenny's going to go into a little more detail on one of our most recent activities to get people out to those farms and buying local food direct from the farmers.
Great, thanks, Bonnie. So some of you may have seen some of our materials out and about in the community. As with a lot of other nonprofits, we've really had to think about, our annual fundraisers and the way that we're connecting people to our work in the midst of COVID-19. And last year, in 2019, we had started the Bike to Barns event, which was a 15-mile bike route, all happening on one day, where about 40 to 50 participants went out, biked around to the different farms in the target range area. met with farmers, had a meal, enjoyed themselves. And this year we were just really sad to maybe have to walk away from it. And instead, we just came up with a brand new way to have the event safely, socially distanced, so that people could still get out to those farms, support those farmers, and raise funds for CFAC. And so this year we held the event over a whole month and a half. We sent everyone their Bike to Barns adventure packets to their homes, which included a map of all of the farms in the Target Range and Orchard Homes areas. Each place that they stopped, they were able to get a bingo card stamped for a chance to win prizes. And they just had a blast getting out there and learning about farms right here in Missoula. So this was our little poster that we had. And then I just wanted to share some of those. We asked a lot of people to send in photos from when they were out and about. So this is their little package that they had. All of the farm stands offered like little coupons to each biker, and they received a meal voucher at the trough, which is right in that area, their little bingo card, and just got out and found where to find local produce and have fun. Some of the farms that participated, Frank's Little Farm, Turner Farms, Clark Fork Organics, all really right here in town. One of the bingo activities was pet a goat at Turner's Farms. So a lot of people sent us their goat photos, which was great. Take a photo of the sheep at Orchard Homes, Icelandics. So we had a lot of people that did that. Snap a photo of a funky looking vegetable. A lot of people just finding great places to take photos along the way. Some bikers. There's that green bench orchard. Just people out and about enjoying and having this long time to kind of go when they felt, you know, they had the time. Here's all of our bingo cards that we got in. So that was Bike to Barns, and now we're moving into another year-end campaign also that I wanted to share with everyone. You know, we don't really have a great guide or map of right here, Missoula County and the surrounding counties, all of the different local food and farm stops that you can find throughout the year. And so we, you know, as with everything, want to make sure that not only are we raising funds for CFAC's programs, but we're also supporting farmers every time that we do that. And so we've come up with the 2021 Local Food and Farm Passport, which is basically a guide to we're actually at over 70 now, farm stands, farmers, markets, and local food businesses. It's basically an adventure tour that you can take all year long across 3 counties. You can collect stamps at each one to redeem special offers and win prizes, participate in special events, and support farmers and farmland conservation, all of the programs that CFAC administers. And it's a great gift idea for the end of the year for people that, you know, love local food and want to get out and about finding in a safe and socially distanced way at their own leisure, places that serve local food, that have local food available all winter, spring and summer. So here's a picture of the Local Food and Farm Passport. It's actually at the printer right now. This is just our sample passport photo. So it has over $150 in special offers. Again, our farmers and local food businesses were very generous, just wanting to get people out and about and supporting them. Some of the prizes that are available is if you get 35 stamps or more in your passport, Flonk is doing a private dinner for 6 with wine pairings, 5 courses in their private wine cellar at the end of next year when all of the passports are turned in and people are submitting them for their prizes. And